Today I'm going to talk about eggs and what you need to know before you eat them. First, there are lots of misconceptions about eggs, and I want you to know that eggs are a healthy food. They are a great source of protein, and if they're high quality eggs, they also provide bioactives called carotenoids that are beneficial for your vision. And eggs, which used to be thought of being harmful to your heart, actually have proven benefits for heart health.
In this video, Dr. Lee will be exposing the shocking truths about eggs and heart disease that you may not know. But that's not all. He'll also explain how the nutrients in eggs impact heart health and share tips on how to identify and choose the healthiest type of egg. So make sure to watch until the end so you don't miss any essential details. But first, are eggs really linked to heart disease, or is this just a misconception? Let's dive into the relationship between eggs and heart health to find out.
It's true that eggs are high in cholesterol, but study after study after study have shown that the people who are eating eggs don't actually have high levels of harmful cholesterol, all right? In fact, what they have better levels of good, healthy cholesterol, all right? So one clinical study from the University of Connecticut looked at 38 young, healthy men and women. These are people aged 18 to 30 years old, and they gave them either 1 or 2 or 3 eggs to eat per day for 4 weeks. And what they found is that egg eaters actually had better good HDL cholesterol, up about 13%, all right? And this created a healthier lipid profile.
For years, people have been cautious about eating eggs due to their high cholesterol content, fearing it might raise the risk of heart disease. But the question is, how does cholesterol actually contribute to heart issues? You see, the problem starts when high levels of low-density lipoprotein or bad LDL cholesterol build up in the bloodstream. LDL can penetrate arterial walls, causing inflammation and damage. Over time, this triggers plaque formation, a sticky, fatty substance that clogs the arteries and restricts blood flow to the heart. As the arteries narrow, blood pressure rises, making the heart work harder and eventually leading to heart strain or cardiac fatigue. Ruptured plaques can also release harmful clots, which can block key blood vessels and trigger heart attacks or strokes. The excessive LDL cholesterol equally disrupts the endothelium, which is the delicate inner lining of blood vessels, reducing its ability to relax and expand. This impairs the production of nitric oxide, an essential molecule for keeping blood vessels flexible. As a result, blood vessels become stiff and more prone to damage. However, Dr. Lee points out that research shows eating eggs doesn't necessarily lead to high levels of harmful cholesterol. In fact, egg consumption is often associated with better levels of good cholesterol and a healthier lipid profile. But how is this possible? Well, the secret lies in the egg's unique balance of fatty acids, proteins, and micronutrients. You see, eggs are a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids. Plus, dietary cholesterol from eggs doesn't directly translate to higher blood cholesterol because the body naturally adjusts its own cholesterol production based on dietary intake. In fact, egg yolks contain choline, a nutrient that promotes the production of good HDL cholesterol and helps reduce bad LDL cholesterol. This combination makes eggs beneficial for a healthy blood fat profile. Choline also reduces the absorption of dietary cholesterol, minimizing its impact on blood levels. But there's another powerful, heart-boosting compound in eggs that often goes unmentioned. Let's hear from Dr. Lee about this compound and how it benefits heart health. But before we continue, please note that this content is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or taking new supplements.
Having marine omega-3 fatty acids that come from plankton. Well, eggs can have them as well. And here's how that works. Well, if the hen that lays the healthy eggs are raised cage-free, they're free range, and they're actually eating natural foods, meaning they're pasture-fed. The natural seeds that the chicken, the hen, eats actually converts the substances in the seeds into omega-3 fatty acids that winds up building up in their eggs. All right, so you are what your hen ate when it comes to eggs. Healthier raised hens also just have better overall health, which means their eggs are going to be healthy as well, right? Think about prenatal care for humans. You got prenatal care for hens as well.
At some point, we might have heard that omega-3 fatty acids support heart health. But how do eggs fit into this? Here's the breakdown. When hens are raised in a cage-free, free-range environment and eat a natural pasture-based diet, they convert nutrients from seeds into heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids. This happens because the seeds and plants they eat are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a building block of omega-3s. So, how do omega-3 fatty acids in eggs benefit the heart? When consumed, omega-3s, especially eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, become part of the membranes in your cells, making them more flexible and better at receiving positive signals. This helps reduce inflammation, a key contributor to heart disease. Additionally, omega-3s improve blood vessel function, making them more relaxed and open. This allows blood to flow more smoothly, lowering blood pressure and reducing the risk of heart disease. This is super important because high blood pressure can lead to heart failure, kidney disease, and stroke. Omega-3s also help prevent dangerous clotting by reducing the stickiness of platelets, preventing them from clumping together and causing heart attacks or strokes. In addition to their anti-inflammatory and blood-thinning effects, omega-3s also raise levels of good HDL cholesterol and lower triglycerides, improving your lipid profile and making it healthier. This is important because high triglycerides can increase the risk of heart disease, and maintaining healthy cholesterol levels helps prevent conditions like atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up in the arteries. However, the benefits of omega-3s go even further as they help repair damaged blood vessels, keeping the heart strong and resilient. This is particularly important for those already with heart disease, as omega-3s can slow its progression. But with all these health benefits from consuming eggs, why were they linked to heart disease in the first place? Let's find out how it all started. But before we proceed, if you're looking to dive deeper into how diet can protect your heart and boost your overall health, be sure to subscribe to the QuickTime newsletter linked below. Each week, we share expert-backed tips, delicious recipes, and actionable steps to help you live longer and feel your best, delivered right to your inbox.
Where was this idea that eggs are not healthy coming from? How did that actually even happen? Well, I like to bust myths, and some of the myth busting comes from actually understanding the historical context, all right? So let's go back, way back in a time machine to the 1970s. And it turned out that some of the studies that led to the thinking that egg eating was harmful to the heart had to do with the fact that we didn't know much about cholesterol. We didn't know about LDL and HDL. We just all thought cholesterol was cholesterol. We didn't know that there was good cholesterol. So that wasn't even being measured in the studies. All right. And what I told you was that eating eggs actually raises good cholesterol without raising the bad cholesterol.
Let's rewind to the 1970s, a time when our understanding of cholesterol was still evolving. Back then, research was limited, and scientists didn't yet know how to differentiate between bad LDL cholesterol and good HDL cholesterol. Without this key distinction, studies from that time often gave an incomplete view of how dietary cholesterol affects heart health. Eggs, being naturally high in cholesterol, were often singled out as a potential cause of heart disease. However, here's the catch. Eating eggs can actually raise good HDL cholesterol levels without significantly affecting bad LDL cholesterol levels. Here's a simpler explanation. The cholesterol in eggs doesn't automatically lead to higher cholesterol levels in our bodies. Our livers produce cholesterol based on what we need, so when we eat more cholesterol from foods like eggs, the liver just produces less to keep things balanced. However, the idea that eggs contribute to heart disease stuck around for decades because of the limited understanding of cholesterol at the time. But the good news is that recent research has brought new insights into this issue. The key lies in the concept of dietary balance. When eaten as part of a well-rounded diet that includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, eggs can actually support a heart-healthy lifestyle. Here's the breakdown. Earlier studies often focused on individual foods, like eggs, without considering the overall diet. Today, we understand the importance of looking at the big picture, how all the foods we eat work together. But that's not all. Dr. Lee will explain another reason why the egg studies from the 1970s were inaccurate.
The other thing that tied the early studies from the 1970s to increased heart disease is the researchers were studying people that were eating eggs for breakfast. But guess what? These people eating eggs for breakfast are also eating bacon and sausage and butters and cereals with added sugars and also ultra-processed foods. And we know all of those other things actually can increase your risk for heart disease, and eggs got thrown under the bus. All right, so they were focusing on the eggs, but they didn't realize all this other stuff that the people were eating was contributing to heart disease, and they blamed it on the egg. All right, so that's really a case of mistaken identity, and it just shows you how important it is to actually be focused on the right thing and to have enough knowledge when you're conducting a research study so you don't make a misinterpretation of the information.
While people in the egg studies did eat eggs for breakfast, they also had foods like bacon, sausage, butter, sugary cereals, and processed foods, things that are known to raise the risk of heart disease. So what went wrong? Researchers focused on eggs, but they overlooked the harmful effects of the other foods people were eating with them. In reality, eggs got unfairly blamed for heart disease, when it was the unhealthy foods eaten along with eggs that were the real problem. The issue is that our diets are complicated, and it's hard to tell how one food affects our health. Therefore, the key is to look at the whole diet, not just blame one food for health problems. Nevertheless, recent research shows that when eggs are part of a balanced diet, they can lead to better health. This is because eggs are packed with high-quality protein, essential vitamins, and minerals. Now, let's explore the 3 tips Dr. Lee recommends to help you get the most out of eating eggs.
So, how do you get the most out of eating eggs? I'm going to give you 3 pro tips, all right? First tip, buy organic eggs from hens that are pasture raised, all right? They're going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're also going to be more beneficial. They got more beneficial omega-3s, they got more carotenoids, and other types of bioactives like choline. Go for the good stuff, right?
As mentioned earlier, organic pasture-raised eggs offer significantly higher nutritional value. Hens that roam freely and forage on grasses, insects, and seeds produce eggs that are richer in beneficial omega-3 fatty acids, carotenoids, and bioactive like choline. This natural diet helps enrich their eggs with essential nutrients. For example, omega-3 fatty acids are essential for heart health and brain function, while carotenoids act as antioxidants, protecting against cell damage and inflammation. Choline, another important nutrient, supports brain function, metabolism, and liver health. In contrast, conventionally raised hens are often kept in crowded cages, fed grain-based diets, and given antibiotics. As a result, their eggs tend to have lower omega-3 levels, higher saturated fat content, and a higher risk of antibiotic resistance. Now, buying organic eggs is a great choice, but how do you identify them from the start? Here's what Dr. Lee recommends.
Now, how will you know if an egg is actually particularly healthy? Well, here's something that you might not know. When I grew up, I ate eggs that when you cracked them open into a bowl, the yolks were bright yellow like the sun. But it turns out that the healthy pasture-raised and pasture-fed hens, when you crack their eggs, the yolk is orange red. It's like the blood moon as opposed to the bright yellow sun. And that blood moon, that red-orange pigment, that comes from carotenoids, so you know.
Did you know that the healthiest eggs don't have bright yellow yolks, but rather a rich orange-red color, like a blood moon? This unique hue is a clear sign that the eggs come from pasture-raised, pasture-fed hens. The reason for this vibrant color lies in carotenoids, which are the powerful antioxidants responsible for the orange-red pigment. Carotenoids are abundant in grasses, insects, and seeds, which make up the natural diet of pasture-raised hens. As these hens forage, they gather carotenoids, which end up in their eggs, giving the yolks that distinctive orange-red color. In contrast, conventionally raised hens are typically fed grain-based diets that don't have the same variety of carotenoids. Their eggs will typically have brighter yellow yolks, indicating lower carotenoid content. So, where can you easily purchase healthier eggs? Let's find out what Dr. Lee recommends.
Tip number 2, if you can get farm-raised eggs, okay, from a farmer, or you can get eggs from a friend who raises chickens and treats them humanely, they're going to be the freshest. You don't have to transport them very far, and they're going to be the best because you know who actually raised them, all right?
Getting eggs from a trusted source ensures you're getting the freshest, highest quality eggs while supporting humane and sustainable farming practices. By buying directly from a farmer or a friend, you skip the middlemen and reduce transportation-related stress, which can affect the quality of the eggs. Commercially produced eggs, on the other hand, often travel long distances and go through various handling and storage processes that can reduce freshness, increase the risk of contamination, and lower their nutritional value. However, farm-raised eggs from a reliable source offer numerous benefits, including superior freshness, with eggs often collected daily, and humane treatment of chickens, which improves both their welfare and the quality of the eggs. To find farm-raised eggs, you can check out local farmers markets or farm stands, join a community-supported agriculture (CSA) program, or simply ask friends, family, or co-workers where they get their eggs. Many farmers also offer farm tours or egg collecting experiences, giving you a great chance to learn about sustainable farming practices and connect with the people who produce your food. Now, here's a fun fact. Did you know you might not need to refrigerate organic farm-raised eggs when you buy them? Listen to what Dr. Lee has to say about it.
And by the way, farm-raised eggs, eggs coming from a neighbor, they might not even need to be in the refrigerator. Does that surprise you? It surprised me when I first learned that. And here's the thing, I grew up, with eggs always in the refrigerator. In fact, when I go to the grocery store, I would go to the refrigerated section to buy eggs, right? Who doesn't think about that? Well, when I started doing my research on food as medicine in Europe, I would go to the fresh markets, the village markets, and one of the things that really surprised me is that all these eggs are piled up and sold just at room temperature. In fact, sometimes the markets were in hot weather and they were not refrigerated. And I was scratching my head saying, how could that be? Isn't that dangerous? Well, so here's something really amazing that I want to share with you. When you actually have hens that are naturally raised and eggs that are taken to the market, right, shortly after they're laid, outside of a factory, by the way, what happens is that the egg gets a natural coating as the hen squeezes out the egg. It coats the egg, the entire outside of an egg, with a natural bacterial resistant coating, all right? Now think about it. A naturally raised chicken is going to be laying eggs into a nest. The nest is not refrigerated, and there's bacteria in there. And that's why this coating, this antibacterial coating, natural antibacterial coating, is provided by the mom, by the hen, all right? Now, when you actually bring those eggs right to the market and then buy them and bring them to your home, guess what? You can keep them on the counter for even a couple of weeks, and they're gonna be fine. You don't need to put them in the refrigerator.
With that in mind, always remember to get the most out of eggs by enjoying them alongside other healthy foods, like healthy fats, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Also, be sure to eat them in moderation. If you have any cardiovascular issues, such as heart problems, it's a good idea to consult with your doctor before adding eggs to your diet. That said, consuming eggs will not increase your risk of heart disease when part of a balanced, healthy diet. To get more of Dr. Lee's recommendations, click the video showing on your screen right now to discover the 5 fruits that can help fight cancer and reduce inflammation, as recommended by Dr. William Lee. See you there.